Hi, I'm Jacob Coakley, and welcome to the video editor's note for June 2014. It's June. June means Tonys. Tonys mean a watching party. Watching party means a guessing pool, which means predictions. So here you go. Here are my unsolicited, uninformed, and completely out of left field predictions for who will win the Tonys this year. When picking a Tony winner, it's best to go with your strengths. My strengths are having seen none of the shows since I live on the other side of the country. But as a true American, I'm not going to let that stop me from having an opinion, as ill-informed as it may be. To keep my voting honest and pure, I have done no research on any of the shows, read no reviews about people's performances, and I'm generally going into this blind. I haven't even looked up any Tony buzz. Is Tony buzz actually a thing? It sounds like a discarded G.I. Joe character from back in the Don't Ask, Don't Tell days. You know, watch Tony Buzz defeat Cobra Commander with his amazing knowledge of musical theater history. No? Not a thing? Best orchestrations. We've got Bullets, Bridges, Beautiful, and A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. With all those B's, I'm going to take the Sesame Street approach and give it to Gentleman's Guide of Love and Murder. I think all those B's will just confuse the judges. Best choreography. Again, keep in mind I haven't seen any of these shows, so I think we can eliminate Bullets over Broadway because Susan Stroman doesn't need any more awards. And although I'm sure the movement in Rocky is amazing, I really can't picture a tap dancing Apollo Creed, so I don't think they're going to give it to Rocky, which leaves After Midnight and Aladdin. Now, Aladdin is by Disney, and I'm sure the Tony voters have a love-hate relationship with Disney, and really, do they need any more awards or press? And After Midnight I've seen all over YouTube and looks beautiful. Having said that, After Midnight's just a review, so I don't know that they would give the choreography to that. So my heart wants to say After Midnight, my head says Aladdin, I don't know, let's go with After Midnight. Oh man. Do Tony voters even understand how to judge best sound design for a play? There's no songs! How are we supposed to judge this? In the absence of songs or other musical cues, I think what they'll decide on is they'll take their cues from other bits that are really big and splashy like a set, which is good for Machinal or Act 1. But Audra McDonald is in Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill. Audra McDonald! How did she end up in a straight play and not a musical? I think the Tony voters will be so confused by seeing her in a play and not a musical, they'll give it the Best Sound Design Award to that play anyways. So yes, Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill. Best Sound Design for a Musical. Just give it to Hedwig. Go ahead. The Tonys owe Neil Patrick Harris for all the work he's done on making their broadcast relevant the past couple of years, and they know it. So yeah, Hedwig. Best Scenic Design of a Play. Okay. Haven't seen any of them, but I know that Act 1 has a 3-story brownstone, and Machinal has some huge, amazing turntable set piece that is wowing everybody, which leaves the Glass Menagerie, which, you know, I'm sure is beautiful but staid, which is pretty much what I imagine the Cripple of Inishman to be. So literally it comes down between Act 1 and Machinal. Lincoln Center for Act 1 or the Roundabout. I'll give it to Machinal. It has more tech on it, sounds a little more interesting. Best Scenic Design of a Musical. This is a tough one. We got Rocky, Hedwig, Gentleman's Guide, Bullets over Broadway. Rocky probably has the most astonishing set with the boxing ring flying in and all the video sets everywhere, but I'm really not sure Tony voters can bring themselves to vote for Rocky, which leaves Hedwig, Gentleman's, and Bullets. You know what? To heck with it. I'm picking Rocky. Best Costume Design of a Play. Which one has the most outrageous wigs? Casa Valentina, about a home in the Catskills for cross-dressing men. That's the one. Best Costume Design for a Musical. I think this comes down between Gentleman's Guide and Hedwig. Gentleman's Guide is set further in the past, but Hedwig has some amazing wigs. But it's set in the 80s, and who really likes looking at 80s clothes? So my heart says Hedwig, but my head says they'll probably choose Gentleman's Guide. That's the one I'm going with. Best Lighting Design of a Play. Oh crap, who knows? I'm sure they're all beautiful. I think this is going to be my first dart pick. In other words, just throw a dart and see where it lands. This time around, it landed on Jane Cox from Machinal. Best Lighting Design for a Musical. The real betting on this one will be for what color shoes Kevin Adams is wearing when he accepts his award. My bet is on green, judging from his Instagram account. Best performance by an actor in a featured role in a play. So, you think people liked Twelfth Night? Give the Tony to Stephen Fry for his work here, and let Mark Rylance collect his award for Richard III. Best performance by an actress in a featured role in a play. Going solely on name power here, Anika Noni Rose. Best performance by an actor in a featured role in a musical. The only shows here that have songs written after 1973 is Violet and Aladdin. Violet takes place on a bus and stars Sutton Foster. If there's an award to be won in that show, she'll take it. Give it to the genie. Best performance by an actress in a featured role in a musical. This is another ball of confusion. I'll choose Lauren Worsham because I think people would just be ticking boxes for Gentleman's Guide. Best performance by an actor in a leading role in a play. Yep, like I said earlier, it's going to Mark Rylance. Best performance by an actress in a leading role in a play. I think this comes down to LaTanya Richardson Jackson and Audra McDonald. Will Audra pick up an award for her work in a straight play? I say yes. Best performance by an actor in a leading role in a musical. Nobody knows who Jefferson Mays or Bryce Pinkham are outside of theater. No one knows who Neil Patrick Harris is outside this solar system. Give it to Neil. Best performance by an actress in a leading role in a musical. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit on this one. I read an article a couple of weeks ago in the New York Times that interviewed all 5 of these ladies. I don't remember much of it, but I do know that they all hate Twitter. Having said that, when I was preparing this, the one who had tweeted most recently was Sutton Foster, so I'm going to give it to her because clearly she wants it more. Best direction of a play. This is another one where I just threw some darts at a wall. Let's go for Tim Carroll for Twelfth Night. Best direction of a musical. I think this comes down to Lee Silverman for Violet and Darko Tresniak for A Gentleman's Guide. After Midnight is a review, so I don't think they'll seriously consider that. And Hedwig has been mounted so many times, pun definitely intended, that I don't think they'll consider Michael Meyer as having contributed much to this production of it. Which leaves it between Lee and Darko. Lee has totally made Violet a Broadway show and gotten a lot of love for that. While meanwhile Darko must have been doing something right for A Gentleman's Guide with all of its nominations. In the end, I think they'll go with Darko because Gentleman's Guide has a larger audience. Best book of a musical. All the marketing has positioned Gentleman's Guide as a snappy, witty, sophisticated experience, and it's not repurposed. I'll give it to Gentleman's Guide. Best original score, music and/or lyrics written for the theater. Unless Kit and Yorkie pull off a stunning upset on the same scale as their come-from-nowhere Pulitzer win, I'm going to give this to Gentleman's Guide. Unless, of course, Adina impresses everybody with her belting and intimidates the judges into choosing If Then. No, let's go with Gentleman's Guide. Best revival of a play. I have no idea which of these is the better production of a play. No reading and no research, remember? But based on my spurious logic I've used so far, I'm going to give this one to Twelfth Night. Best revival of a musical. Pretty sure we can just give this to Hedwig right now. Best play. A Valentine to theater, a paean to the passage of the Civil Rights Act, a love letter to queer culture, a look at acceptance of gay men in families, and a look at love on an Irish farm. All the Way stars Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. Let's assume he gave all the judges some meth and they chose that one. Best musical. A review, a remake, a repurpose, and really who knows? I am sure that in the dark, greedy hearts of Tony voting road producers, they would love for the Tony to go to Beautiful, the Carole King musical. Because their audience all knows who that is, they all love the songs, and it'll be a great big fat musical theater jukebox hit. On the other hand, Gentleman's Guide has a lot more sizzle and doesn't remind me of 1970s AM radio. So I'm going to choose Gentleman's Guide. And that's it. Those are my picks. What are your picks? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you won your poll. Let me know where I'm wrong. Let me know you're watching. See you next month.